my friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica, and in today's video I'm going to be putting two eye looks together with a newer palette in my collection, not new out on the market but new to me, the New Zealand Stargazing palette from Nomad Cosmetics. Now when this first was released I thought, ooh, that's really pretty, but I don't know, I just didn't feel like I wanted to get it or needed to get it. Do you need to get it? You know what I mean? But then I was on a video call with Steph, and she had just gotten done putting her makeup on, and she had used this palette, and her look was so incredible. And so I said, what is that? And she said, it's the New Zealand Stargazing palette from Nomad. And I'm like, okay, twist my arm, I'm gonna get it. Look at how fun this color story is. Really pretty. We've got some darker shades, some lighter, more ethereal shades. Really fun. And for today's look, I don't know, I want to do something really light is what I'm thinking. And I got my nails done and they're kind of like a peachy, pinky, multi-chromey, well, not multi-chrome, like duochrome, sparkly stuff. So I thought I'd do something that kind of like matches my nails. So what I think I'm going to do for this look is use this shade right here called Southern Lights, this shade right here called Auckland Stardome, and then I'm trying to decide if I want to use Aurora Australis or Magellanic Clouds. Probably just totally butchered that one. And then in my next look, I'll get into more of the deeper, darker shades. But that's what I'm thinking. I will do like probably this color maybe on my lower lash line. It's called Carter Observatory. So that's what I'm going to do in this look. And then, like I said, darker, more I don't know, look in the second go around. So I do have both brows done. I just put some clear brow gel in them, and then I do have this eyelid primed in the Juvia's Place Prep Prime eyeshadow primer. Okay, so starting off with a Rephr 14, I'm going to go into this shade here called Auckland Stardome and put that in my transition area, creasy area. And when I got this in the mail and opened it up, I was like, oh, I'm so glad I got this. I don't know why I didn't get it right away. I don't know. I'm like that sometimes with palettes. Like I'll see them and I'll think they're gorgeous, and then I'm like, well, just let's hold off for a hot minute and just wait and see. And I love Nomad Cosmetics. Love Nomad. I did do 2 looks with all of my other Nomad Cosmetics palettes earlier this year. That was really fun and really enjoyed the different looks that I put together. One of the things I love about Nomad palettes is that you can do the lighter looks like I'm going to do today, but you can also just go all in and get real deep and dark and vampy and sexy. And and then also the color combinations are so cool. So you have a lot of different options. And my favorite Nomad palette at this point, and this palette might change my mind, but my favorite palette from Nomad is the Royal Europe. God, I love that. And I didn't expect to love it as much as I did, but God, it's gorgeous. The shimmers in that palette are just incredible. They're so good. God, they're good. So good. Love. And I'm thinking that I think I might just pop one of the lighter shimmers across my entire lid. So you know what I'm going to do? Actually, I'm going to take this across my entire lid here. That's what I'm going to do. And then pop one of those lighter shimmers over the top of that. I don't necessarily feel like I have to do that because I think those shimmers aren't toppers necessarily, but I don't know. This is just what I'm thinking will work well. So let's just go over the entire lid with this shade. This is a really nice shade. It's pigmented and it's really pretty. And I love the fact, just for my own self, that I am embracing pink, because if you've been here for a while, you know that I really used to struggle with pink eyeshadows. Not that I necessarily had a tough time, you know, using them or making them work for me. I just thought they looked weird on me. I don't know why. I don't know why. But now I just love pink. I think that looks great. I'm going to leave it like that. But I do want to, you know, kind of lighten that up around the outside edge here. So I'm going to go into the shade here called Southern Lights and do that. So I'd love to know if any of you have this palette and what you think of it and what your favorite shades are out of the palette. And also what your favorite Nomad palette is that you own in your collection. And if this is it, that's great. For a long time, my favorite palette from Nomad was the Berlin Underground, and I still really love it. And what I love about it is that it's really like vampy, smoky, grungy, earthy, you know, really awesome. And for a long time, that was my date night palette. Like if my husband and I would go out on a date, go to a movie or out to dinner or whatever, I would always create a look with that palette, always. And not that I wouldn't do it now, I would do it now, but I don't know. We don't really go out on a lot of dates. And we've been going and doing stuff, which has been really fun, but I don't really ever take makeup with me when I travel. I don't know why. I probably shouldn't. I hate should and shouldn't, but I just don't really, I don't know. I feel like when I'm on a vacation or, you know, vacation, whatever, weekend away, I just don't want to mess with makeup. And I don't know why that is. I just really don't. But, you know, the setup that you're in like different hotel rooms, sometimes it's not the most conducive to putting on makeup. I'm really used to my setup here too, with my mirror and my lights. And so it just, sometimes I feel like this is easier to just do my makeup here and not take stuff. And I'm the weirdest packer when I go places. It's, I don't know, my husband's like, what's going on? Because we'll be gone for like 1 night, 2 nights, and I'll have like half my wardrobe in a bag. And he's like, we're only staying for 1 or 2 nights. And I'm like, zip it. I'm taking this stuff. It's so funny. Because I never know what I'm going to need. You know what I mean? And I've been places before where I did not take enough stuff with me, and then, or not enough like options, I guess. And so, yeah, I just don't want to ever do that again. So I take a lot of crap. Okay, I think I'm done with that. It blended out really nicely. It's very soft and diffused, and I just love that. So I think I'm just going to go into this one, the Aurora Australis. I hope that's how you pronounce that. It's got like a really cool, soft, subtle flip to it. Or should I do that one? Should I do this one? Oh boy, this is tough. These are so beautiful. You know what? I'm going to go into this one. This is Magellanic Clouds, right? Sure. And I'm going to use just a little bit of a fluffier brush. This is one of my Beely brushes, I think. Yeah, Beely. Okay, let's see what happens here. I think it's going to be gorgeous. It's got a really pretty flip to it. I think it's kind of got maybe a little bit of blue in that. This is going to look really cool, I think. Really cool. Okay, come on, hair, cooperate. All right, this might not be the same as my nails, but whatever. Okay, let's go for it. Oh my gosh, it's not blue, it's like orangey. This is gorgeous. Yeah, this actually does work pretty well with my nails, right? I mean, this is a little brighter or whatever, but oh, how fun. I did not see that coming. I don't know why. I just didn't see that coming at all. It's got a really pretty like gold, like light gold, and then like a pinky peachy. Oh, that is gorgeous. And I really like it with the mattes I chose. How fun. How fun. I'm going to take this up over my crease transition area. And yeah, this is stunning. And I think it'll be really fun to put one of the darker mattes down here and kind of have that juxtaposition of the lighter lid with the darker lower lash line. Oh yeah, that's gonna look really cool. That is so beautiful. God, that's pretty. Love it. I'm telling you, Nomad is like magic. They really make magical shades. Abso-freaking-lutely. Yes, this is gorgeous. I don't know why I thought it had blue in it. It does not have blue in it. Or, you know, maybe if I popped it over a blue shade, it would look more blue. I don't know, but this is absolutely stunning. This is exactly what I wanted. Just a very pretty, soft, yet shifty, because it's definitely got the, you know, multi-chrome, duochrome shiftiness to it. I'm going to go back around with this brush, nothing additional on it, and just kind of make sure the edge of that shimmer looks a little bit less unorganized. Okay, I think I'm pretty much done. I might mess around a little bit more with the outer part here, but I'm pretty much done. I'm going to clean this up, do my other eye, the rest of my face. I'll be back. So this, of course, is finished look number 1, and I just love how it turned out. It gave me exactly what I was going for, an easy, yet soft, yet pretty, yet beautiful look. And I really like what I did on my lower lash lines too. So of course I'll show you the palette again before moving on to look number 2, but let me show you everything else I have on my face. Easy base products, just use the Maybelline Dream BB Fresh BB Cream in medium. I use my CoverGirl Clean Professional setting or loose setting powder in translucent. Such a great combo for me. I did use my iconic London bronzer. This is a mess on the front of it. This is in medium bronze. And then for my blush, I did use the one that I have in my Def Leppard panning project. This is the IBY blush in Sunkissed. Love this shade. I thought the pink would work well with my eye look today. Also, I'm going to be doing my Def Leppard panning project check-ins every other month now rather than every month, because I just felt like that would be better. And then, oh, for my inner corners, I used a shade out of the Mr. Fluff's Magic Spells Duochrome Highlighter Palette from Mad Witch Cosmetics. I use this shade right here called Wonky Donkey. It has a really pretty subtle pink, but a little bit of blue shift to it as well. So pretty. So now let's talk about the eyeshadow palette, Nomad New Zealand Stargazing. This shimmer shade absolutely blew my mind. This one, I almost pointed to that one. I use this one. Absolutely blew my mind because when I put it on the brush, I don't know why, but I thought I saw a blue reflect, and it's just got this beautiful peachy pink, light gold, shifty magic to it. Loved both of these mattes. They're just beautiful. Typical Nomad mattes. They're very pigmented, yet really blendable. Blend themselves basically on my lower lash lines. I used Carter Observatory across the whole lower lash line and then blended it out a little bit with the Cosmos. And then I did pop some of the Carter Observatory shade on my upper lids as well. I was going to use like a traditional liner, and I thought, no, let's try that. And I think it tied the upper lash line in with the lower lash line, of course, using the same shade. This is just stunning. I cannot wait to keep playing with this. I think I know what I'm going to do in the second look, but I'm not quite positive yet, but hang tight and let's get to it. So back for look number 2 with the Nomad Cosmetics New Zealand Stargazing palette. And I really want to do something really fun today. That's what I'm hoping for. So I'm going to do a cut crease. And I think what I'll do is put this shade here called, oh my gosh, hold on, let me get my glasses. I don't know why I don't like check this before I sit down to film, but coming in hot. So here we go. This is, wow, I don't know how to pronounce this. It's A-O-R-A-K-I Mackenzie. Okay, so that's, I think, going to go in my creasy transition area first. And I'm trying to decide if I want to add maybe a little bit of, it's T-E-K-A-P-O Stargazing, maybe. I'm also thinking about putting some of the Cosmos up here too. And then for my lid, I'm going to put the black matte out towards the outer V, but that's called Dark Sky Nation. And then I really want to put Milky Way on the lid. And I might even put a little bit of the Aurora Australis. I mean, I really love these two shimmers and this one. I'm going to have to do another video with this palette. I'm going to have to, because I mean, there's just so many beautiful shades in here. I thought about doing like an all shimmer look, putting like a black primer down, and I don't know, maybe I'll come back and do that eventually for sure. So starting off with the purple matte, this one here, I'm going to put that just right here, kind of create the start of the look with that. And I think what I'll do is start off with this brush here from Blend Bunny. Is there hair on that? And just kind of start putting, like I said, putting the shape of the look together. So I've only primed right here with the Juvia's Place Prep Prime eyeshadow primer, and my brows have some clear brow gel from NYX Control Freak. Okay, and I'm just going to start right here. Ooh, careful. I always screw this part of my eye look up, I feel like, and I can't stand that. You know, I don't want to screw it up from the beginning. And I do want to say something. There are multiple ways to do a cut crease. There's multiple ways, and you're going to see probably multiple ways to do a cut crease here on this platform. Some people start with like their shimmer first and then add the mattes. Oh crap, you know what I forgot to do, you guys? Oh, I forgot to put my sticker on. Hold on, I'm going to go do that. Okay, crisis averted. I was like, wait, I'm missing something. Anyway, let me go back to what I was saying. some people, like I said, will put the shimmer down first and then put the mattes down around the shimmer. Some people do it like I do, where they start off with the mattes and, you know, then add the shimmers or whatever. I mean, there's just different ways to do this. And I don't ever think that like the way I do it is the quote unquote right way. How I learned to do a cut crease, or how, you know, this method that I do, or technique, or whatever you want to call it, was from watching YouTube creators, of course, but primarily from watching professional makeup artists who happen to have a YouTube channel. My dear friend Leora Hillel Goldberg, she was one of the people who I would see do cut crease looks. And so I kind of gleaned some ideas or some methods from her. Trying to think, I mean, it's been so long, so long ago that I can't remember exactly who all I watched do it, but I watched a lot of people do it. And I every so often I will see a creator get like very bent out of shape over like feeling this need to like put certain techniques down, or like, well, I saw this professional makeup artist do the look or do a cut crease and they didn't do it anything like that way. And I'm just like, well, okay. You know, the point I feel like with makeup is to do it how you want to do it, right? And so if you want to do it a specific way that's different from how someone else does it, that's fine. But it doesn't mean that someone's right and someone's wrong. It's just a different way, a different method of putting a cut crease look together. And, you know, I get so tired, I've talked about this before, I get so tired of hearing people bash the YouTuber way of doing makeup. Like, that's just dumb. It's played out and it's dumb. And, you know, there are lots of different ways to do all kinds of eye looks, right? And I just think it's whatever you feel the most comfortable with, whatever you think makes sense to you, whatever you think is the best technique for you, then that's what you do. You know, it doesn't matter. There's not, I don't know. I don't get that mentality. I don't get it. And I don't hear it a lot, but I've heard it here and there. And I just think, geez, like, relax a little bit. It's okay. I think people kind of get a little maybe insecure about how they're doing their makeup. If it's different from how someone else does it, maybe that's what it is. I don't know what it is, but it's just silly. It's silly. If you're getting your makeup on and you like how it looks, then who gives a crap how you get it on your eyelids, right? Or whatever, your face. Okay, so I'm done with that. I might go back in and add, but now I want to blend that out with the Cosmos, because I think that's the gray will be nice. Let me see, I do need to get a brush. And I think I'm going to use this one. It's stained, but I don't care. It's just a little bit fluffier, and I think it'll help me blend this outer edge of the purple. I don't want to put a ton of the gray on here, just a little bit, just to kind of add some diffuseness to this shade here. If I can get this to work, I don't know, we'll see. But I don't know, I get tired of the negativity and the bashing and the like putting down of stuff here. It gets really old. It really turns me off. And I just wish that people could be a little bit more like, don't give a shit about it. Like, who cares? If you don't like how someone's doing their makeup and you think it's dumb, or you think it's quote unquote the YouTuber way, then don't watch them, don't watch their channel anymore. You know, just find something else to watch. I don't know. It's just it's a weird phenomenon that I see, and I don't get it. I don't get the point of like putting down things that are different from the way this person does it. You know what I mean? Okay, I probably hammered that into the ground, so let's move on. Today is Friday, and it's my husband's 50th birthday. My husband is 50, like me now. I'm robbing the cradle. So that's cool. It's just strange to be 50, it really is. But it's cool too, you know, like I've talked about this in another video. I thought I would be like freaking out over 50, because 40 I didn't care about, but 30 terrified me, so I didn't know how I was going to react to 50, and it doesn't matter, it's just a number, who cares? It's not really that important to me. But it is kind of funny to say I'm 50, you know, when someone asks me, how old are you? And I'm like, 50, you know, but it's still really cool, I think. And I just hope he has a wonderful birthday. And I got him some presents, and I got him a really funny card at the, well, it's just it was blank on the inside. I wrote in it, but the front of the card says, "Happy birthday from the best decision you ever made." It's got a heart on it. He thought that was cute. He stuck it on the fridge. I thought that was sweet. So yeah. I will say, in terms of cards, my son is the best card writer that has ever lived on this planet. I'm telling you. I think that looks really nice. It blended really nicely, but I am going to go back into the purple shade and just kind of add a little bit more of that back in, because of course I tend to take it too much of it away when I blend it out. So just going to go add a little bit more of that. My son has written me cards for Mother's Day primarily, and they're just gut wrenchers. They're so sweet and loving, and I have tons of the Mother's Day cards he's given me in like a little drawer in my room. And I actually took one to work with me because, you know, sometimes work can be tough. I work in the mental health field, and it just can be tough sometimes. You know, there's just a lot of aspects to my job that can be difficult. And so it's just nice to have his card in my drawer. So like there's been a few times where like I've been having a tough day, and, you know, just different areas of my job can be tough. And so I will pull that out and read it on occasion. And I love that. I love that he's so kind and loving in his cards. Just so sweet. I actually, one time I even took a picture of a card that he wrote me and put it on Instagram, because I just was so blown away by his love and sweetness and thoughtfulness in that card that I wanted to share it with people. I asked him first. I didn't just do that. I don't ever really like do anything regarding my kids without asking them first. So, you know, and there's certain things that of course I would not talk about on my channel or Instagram about their lives, because it's no one's business. But, you know, it's nice to be able to share special things with people too sometimes, you know. Okay, I think I'm done with that. That looks really cool. I like how it's like kind of that murky purple from adding in that gray. And the gray blended out really nicely around the edge of this, I think. You know, it's just very soft, which I love that. Okay, so now for the crease part. I'm going to cut my crease with the primer. That seems to work better. So I usually go from inner to outer just because I think it's easier for me to do it this way when I do a cut crease. Normally I will go from outer to inner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Aurora Australis right here, and then I'll put the Milky Way shade in the middle, and then I'm going to put Dark Sky Nation, the black matte, out here. And I think what I'll do for my lower lash lines is pop this one down on the lower lash line. I think this will be fun. So kind of a fun combo of color, I hope. We'll see. Where's my primer? Oh, there it is. Right in front of my face. So yeah. It's interesting to me too that in the mental health field, the therapists that work in my clinic, I don't know how much like mental health support they get. And I think it's, whoops, well, I guess I don't really need to do this right now, but I'm going to. I did get a little bit of the primer on my mobile lid. It's okay. I worry about that sometimes. Not that there's anything to worry about necessarily. Like they don't say anything that makes me worry about them. But I'm just saying, like, they deal with a lot. You know, they're dealing with a lot on a daily basis with their clients, and you know, there's a lot that goes into being a therapist. And I think a lot of people, if you're not aware of what goes into it, you don't, I mean, obviously you wouldn't know. And I know that before I started working in the mental health field, I wasn't aware of a lot of the stuff that they have to do in terms of, you know, therapizing folks, but also the note taking and just, you know, the supervision aspect of things. I mean, there's just a lot that they have to take care of. And, you know, I think a lot of people look at it as like, oh, well, you know, how hard can it be? It's very difficult. And I know that like a lot of therapists, like I would say that the majority of the therapists that work in my clinic also have therapists, you know, like they have people that they see for their personal stuff too. And we also have like a case consultation group where they can like get together and talk about difficult cases with their clients and things like that. Just, you know, to get some advice from other folks and how to, I think I have a hair stuck on me. advice from other therapists on how to manage different, things with their clients. But I don't know. I just think it's really, I think there should be more emphasis on making sure that the therapist has the support that they need to really like manage stuff while they're being a therapist, if that makes any sense. I put too much primer on my hand, so I'm gonna wipe that off, kind of wasting product. So now I'm gonna go into the shade, pop that right in the front. I do need to get a brush. So I don't know, it's just something that I've thought a lot about. And, Shawnee, my baby bear, she's a therapist. And so she and I have talked about this. Ooh, pretty. Oh yeah, this is gorgeous. And I think what I'll do too, after I get all this laid down on my lid, is I'm gonna go back around with that brush with the purple and just kind of deepen that line up a little bit. So it's just a little bit more noticeable. But I don't know, it seems like there should be more systems in place to help the therapist navigate their client load and just, their own lives. And I think that's something else that people often lose sight of too, is that yes, the therapist is there for the client, of course, and that's a wonderful part, I think, of obviously of therapy. I mean, that's the main part of it, right? That this, if I went to therapy, I have this amazing therapist that's going to help me get through my tough times, or whatever it is that I need to go to therapy for. But it doesn't mean that like the therapist is emotionless and doesn't have their own stuff going on in their life too. So I don't know, it's just been a real eye-opener for me working in the mental health field and knowing kind of what goes on, and just seeing that I think therapists could really benefit from having more support for themselves too. So I'm going to go into Milky Way. That is gorgeous. I love this shade. It's like this ethereal pinky gorgeousness. Okay, this is going to be a lot darker. So I am going to spray this shade a little bit. I didn't spray the other one. I'm going to spray this one. And also, oh yes, this is gorgeous. Oh my gosh. I'm going to try to angle this a little bit if I can. That's not always an easy feat for me to do. I'm going to try to angle it just a little bit. Oh, that's gorgeous. I did not know all the things that therapists have to do in order to become a therapist. Like I've onboarded multiple therapists now where I work. I mean, multiple, licensed, unlicensed, externs, postdocs, all kinds of folks, different roles and stuff that they play at the clinic, or that they have at the clinic, not that they play, that they have. And it is unreal. The training and the classes and the this and the that and the volunteering and da. I mean, I was blown away. And I can remember onboarding a couple of our externs and just, asking them, hey, tell me about your life in terms of, your schooling and what you have to do in order to get your license and your degree and do. And I was just like, huh? I don't think people understand. They don't have a life. I mean, I one of the women I was onboarding, I said, like, when do you sleep? And she's like, well, I just try to get in a couple hours here, a couple hours there. So I feel like even just starting into the world of therapy, becoming a therapist, it's like they're already exhausted by the time they get there, It's just unbelievable to me. I know that looks really harsh, and I'm going to fix that. So don't worry about that. I will fix it. But this is absolutely stunning, this Milky Way shade. It's that blue and purple and, oh, stunning. Okay, so I think that looks okay for right now, although that seems like it's not sticking very good. It's not the shadow's fault, it's just my application. Okay, that looks awesome. I will fix that. So now I'm going to go into Dark Sky Nation and put that towards the outer part. And it, I've talked about this before, like my goal when I was in college, oh, careful, girl, was to become a counselor. Like what I thought I was going to do is work with kids, because a lot of what I studied was child psychology. I studied a lot of child psychology stuff and then abnormal psychology. So I was kind of on the fence about exactly what I wanted to do. I thought about becoming a play therapist, working with kids that are like going to testify in court against potentially an abuser, which that's a tough one. That's kind of what I was thinking I wanted to do. Or I thought about maybe going into more of like the, like, I don't know, like the, what am I trying to say? Like the hospitalization side of psychiatry. I thought about doing that too. And, you know, that's not where I ended up. But honestly, after talking to those folks that we've onboarded, talking to Shawnee, I don't know that that would have ever been right for me. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in with Aurora Australis. That black mat's really nice, and just kind of get this to look a little less separate from each other. You know, just get that to kind of mush together a little bit better, kind of ooze into the other one, not quite so harsh. You know, I just don't know that that would have been my I think it worked out for me to not go down that road. I don't know that I would have been real good at that. I don't know. Maybe I would have been. I'm going to go in with my finger, actually. Maybe I would have been. Maybe I'm... Oh, shoot. Ugh, I got that up too high. Hold on. I got to fix that. Crap. It's because of my damn nails. All right. Let me get that off there if I can. Dang it. Okay, good. I got that off. Jeez, I was like, oops. My fingernail just went clonk right over the top of that. Okay, that looks okay. Not great, but it looks okay. I think I didn't get all the purple off that. I think that's the okay, there we go. Jeez Louise. I don't know. I mean, the dental field is not where I thought I was going to land. That's for damn sure. I didn't think that at all. I mean, I can remember, because I'm terrified of the dentist. And I remember when I got that job, so many people that knew me were like, or that know me and knew me were like, the dental field? That's not where I thought you'd end up. And I'm like, yeah, me neither, but here I am. But I just, yeah, I don't know that that would have, I think I ended up where I was supposed to end up, period. That's all I'm trying to get at. Just take me a long time to get that out of my face. Let me see. I feel like I love this, but I feel like I need to, my stomach's growling, pardon me. I need to go back in with the Milky Way shade too and kind of feather that right here. Just a little bit. Oh, that is so gorgeous. This looks very like, I don't know, mystical to me. That is so beautiful. So I do though want to grab a little bit more of the purple matte and just kind of drag it down here just a skosh. So I tend to have it kind of funky looking right there when I do a cut crease. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So let's take the sticker off and we'll see what the edge looks like. Oh yeah, that looks awesome. I do need to clean it up just a skosh there with some like of my foundation, but I love this. I think this looks so cool. So I'm gonna go off camera, clean this up, do my other eye, the rest of my face. I'll be back. So this, of course, is finished look number 2 and my final look for this video, and I absolutely love how this look turned out. It's so fun. And what I really wanted to do with this palette was create a simple, easy, pretty look, lighter in tone, of course, and then for this go round I wanted to have a more intricate, in-depth, and darker look, and I definitely felt like I got that out of the palette. This was so fun. Another amazing palette from Nomad. So let me show you everything I have on my face for this look, and then I'll show you the palette again and go into more depth about how I feel about it. So for my base products, it's the exact same thing as the last look. Maybelline Dream BB Fresh BB Cream in medium, along with the CoverGirl Clean Professional Loose Setting Powder in translucent. On my lips, I used a combination of 2 things. I started off with a purple lipstick from Illamasqua, even though I want to call it Alamasqua. That's what I called it for a long time. And this is in the shade Energy. This was gifted to me from Steph, not your basic Steph. And then I also topped it with the CoverGirl metallic lipstick in Stop the Press. Now you can see a little bit of a metallic sheen in real life. I don't think you can see it in the video at all. Let's see, for my bronzer, I use the Iconic London, it's a filthy mess, Ultimate Bronzing Powder in medium. For my blush, I use the Scorpio Hot palette from Mad Witch Cosmetics, my sister's brand, and I use this shade right here, this lavender shade, which honestly, I didn't think I was really going to use much of that. Oh, it's pretty, and I'll probably use it sometimes. I've used it, I think, the most out of all the shades in here. I did think about using one of these shades, but I don't know, with the lighter purpley pink shade towards the front of my eye look, I thought this would work really well, and I love it. And then I also used a shade out of the Mr. Fluff's Magic Spells palette from Mad Witch Cosmetics. I use this shade right here called Meow in my inner corners and also on my face. It's beautiful. It's like this very fairy wing pink lavender shifty stuff. It's gorgeous. For my upper lid liner, I use the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof Waterproof felt tip liner in black. I was going to grab like a purple or a blue or whatever, and I don't know, I didn't want anything to detract from the shimmers, and sometimes I feel like a funky eyeliner color can do that, and there's just so much shifty stuff going on. I thought, you know what, let's just go with the standard black. And then for my mascara, I use the Tarte Gifted mascara. Love this. I mean, this is kind of, I'm making a mess out of it, but it's a wonderful mascara. Okay, so now let's talk about the palette. Nomad Cosmetics New Zealand Stargazing palette. I cannot believe that I wasn't going to get this palette. I really wasn't. I thought, yeah, it's a beautiful color story, but I don't know. I can dupe it. No, I can't dupe it. Not the shimmers in here. I could dupe the mattes, sure, maybe, but not the shimmers. I cannot wait to dive into these two shimmers here. They're so gorgeous. Oh, and this one too. Absolutely gorgeous. So I will be doing another 2 looks video with this. Absolutely. I've got a handful of palettes I still need to get through. Some collabs coming up. But no, I will definitely pull this back onto my channel. What I did on my lower lash lines for this look is I started off with the shade here called Takapo Stargazing. I'm probably saying that wrong. And then I just popped a little bit of the Aoraki Mackenzie, these two together on my lower lash lines. And I just loved it, or I love it. It's not past tense. I love it. And I also thought about maybe popping the black matte on down there too, but I don't know. I just didn't do that. I thought the mattes that I used today blended beautifully, beautifully. And the shimmers are just gorgeous. I feel like this is very like space. I don't know. I'm thinking of like, just like an astral type look, my eyelids. And there's just so much mystery and shiftiness and beauty in this palette. I love the light aspect of the palette and the depth. Really fun mix of colors and shades. Is this my favorite Nomad palette now? It might be, you guys. I really enjoyed putting these 2 looks together. Really did. And I know that may sound silly because I've only used the palette twice, but I cannot wait to use it again. I might forego filming with something else and film with this again. I don't know, we'll see. But let me know what you think of the palette if you have it in your collection, and also let me know what you think of the looks that I created. Do you like look number 1 better or look number 2? I think I'm leaning towards this look. I really think this is fun. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your lives to sit down and watch this video. If you're new here and you enjoyed what you saw, please consider subscribing, smash the like button, and of course, comment down below in the comment section. I love to chat with you guys there. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I cannot wait to see you guys again in my next video. But in the meantime, please take very good care of yourself. Be well, safe, happy, and I will see you soon. Bye.
Drop it.